Hello. I was actually thinking about and praying for some individuals that shared in the experience of single parenting that I did for so many years. Um, and as I thought about and reflected on my journey as a single parent, there's an aspect that oftentimes we don't think about when we are observing single mothers in particular, because that's the road that I walked for probably, um, yeah, not probably, even though I was still married, I still was raising my children by myself because for the most part I was by myself. As it relates to having a spouse, I know that God was with me the entire time, but for about 21, 22 years as a single mother. Um, but one of the aspects that I don't think we give a lot of consideration to is that as a single mother, we uh, pray a lot about our children and trying to shield our children from unnecessary trauma and drama. But a lot of times, as a mother, there are hurts and traumas and uh, things that we have to be healed from. And when we're not where we need to be, it makes it more difficult to help our children get to where they need to be. And so, what you have is some extremely sincere, loving, dedicated, committed mothers that might be struggling in their parenting because they don't realize that they are dealing with their own brokenness. And sometimes it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. We don't recognize the magnitude of our brokenness because uh, the things that broke us are removed, far removed, whether that was from childhood or previous relationships, or even, things that we brought upon ourselves. And so a lot of us have not healed from um, those past situations. And so we're trying to parent our children from broken places. And as well meaning as we are, a lot of times what happens is you end up bleeding on your children trying to help them, because you have the emotional trauma that you're still dealing with. You have the social trauma. And there is a lot of social trauma when it comes to being a parent because a lot of times you feel isolated, you feel neglected, you feel left out because sometimes you can't afford to participate in certain things and it's just too much to take all the kids with you or that child, whatever the situation. But there's a lot of things that can cause hurt on top of hurt as a single mother. And I guess my encouragement and my prayer for my friends is not only that God helps them as they raise their children in His nurture and His admonition, but that God helps them deal with their own hurt, bring that hurt and that trauma to light for them because it makes a difference in how you parent and how you raise your children when you are whole, when you are healed, when you've been delivered, not just from circumstances, but from the hurt, the trauma, um, the dysfunctional mentalities of those circumstances. That makes a big difference in how you raise your children. And so that's my prayer for some of my friends is always that they are intentional about bringing their children up in the Lord and allowing God to lead and guide them as they minister to their children, as they teach their children, but also that God will work with them as mothers, that God will bring them into a place of healing and deliverance for themselves because yeah, I've been there where you're trying to parent, you're trying to raise your children, and you actually need God to do for you what you're trying to do for your children. I need deliverance, I need comfort, I need assurance, I need affirmation, I need admonishment, and I'm trying to give all of this to my children. but I haven't postured my heart or even realized, because of the weight of all the hurt and all the trauma and all the drama, that I actually need these things for myself. And so I pray that that's a word of encouragement for single mothers, and mothers, period, parents, period, that as we seek to raise our children, we need to allow our God to raise us and to help us grow and develop the healthy, the right, the righteous mindsets. Because the goal is not just to raise children as children of God, but the goal is to raise kingdom children, kingdom minded children. And the enemy wants to blind us and suffocate us and to keep us away from that type of healing, that type of deliverance, because he doesn't want us to raise kingdom minded children. He don't care about you raising children, you know, but he doesn't want us to raise kingdom children. And so, mothers, take the time that you need with God to make sure that you're in the position for God to help you heal. Even though you're not giving these things to other people, you can still give them to God. So take the time that you need to position and posture your heart to receive the healing and the deliverance and the comfort and the reassurance that God has for you. He wants you to be healthy. He wants you to be whole. He wants you to be able to raise your children from those places, not from places of brokenness, not from a place of resentment or places of regret. He wants you to raise your children fully understanding that He'll work all of those things out for your good and for His glory.